I'm recording now, okay?
Great, thank you. Those of us that aren't in the room, we need to stop by the board office sometime over the next few days and sign the waiver. So if Jamie, Patty, if there's an opportunity for you to do that, and Patty, if it needs to wait, that's okay. Under a perfect circumstance that would come out electronically, but I think there have been some issues with that recently. So the next item of business is approval of the agenda. The agenda includes a single business item, which is discussion and acceptance of the revised school calendar and adjournment denoting our next regular meeting scheduled for February the 12th. So if I can please get a motion to approve the agenda as presented.
Madam President, I move that we approve the agenda as presented.
Patty, you're muted.
Yeah, that's okay.
Okay.
Patty,
sorry, guys.
That's okay.
I'll second that.
Okay, it's been moved by Jamie, seconded by Don to approve the agenda as presented. Is there any discussion? Hearing none, all in favor, please raise your right hand.
And I'm adding Kelsey right now.
Great, thank you.
Good morning, Kelsey. Okay.
We just voted to approve the agenda. Okay. Is there any opposition to the agenda? Motion carries.
Tina Ray, you're cutting out and we can barely hear you.
Sorry, I don't have.
That's fine. You're good.
Is that better?
Yes.
All right. Sorry, all my stuff is packed for heading north this morning, so we couldn't stay in Topeka. There's no water, so we're commuting. The single business item that we have today is discussion and acceptance of the revised school calendar. So I'm going to turn that over to Mrs. Meyer. And Mrs. Meyer, can you just kind of start with where our discussion was last week regarding this and the steps that have been taken since that facilitated today's meeting, please?
Thank you. You know, on Thursday when we met, we had 1.7 days left. And of course, Friday morning took one of those days away. And Tuesday took the 0.7 and put us at a negative 0.3, which is 2 hours. We were short. So in the administrative meeting yesterday, we discussed possibilities. You know, we talked in the board meeting about adding 5 minutes to a day. I looked at the calendar and looked at possibilities through the year of having a full day of instruction. And the first day that comes up is Monday, January 29th, when we have a professional development day. And the consensus of the administrators was we need to get these kids back in class and have a full day of instruction. Now, we already get half a day for having a professional development day, but the other half of the day would get us back to zero, it'd get us back to 1,116 days if we attend on Monday the 29th. And basically that was number one priority, number one option for all the administrators. The second day we looked at is Good Friday. If we have anything happen between now and the end of winter and we need to make up one more day, we would attend on Good Friday. The third option was adding a day at the end of the year. The students get out on Tuesday. We would extend the school year through Wednesday. The teachers would still have a professional development day and work day on Thursday and Friday before Memorial Day. So these three options don't really upset the basket. very much, but it does get the kids in class for instruction. Now, on the week of February 23rd is our parent-teacher conferences. And teachers work just about every evening meeting with parents. And then we take Friday off. That's the trade-off for the hours that they work at night during the week. If between now and the week of February 23rd, we have additional days that we can't cover on Good Friday or the end of the year, we would look at using the 23rd of February as our last option. And cross our fingers there aren't any other days after that we have to make up. So what we're asking is that you would approve this revised calendar, the March 29th, May 22nd, and February 23rd would all be as needed or if needed. And we would put them on the calendar as makeup days if needed. But the 29th would definitely be a day, we just need to get where we need to be and be even. I had some concerns, calls about the seniors. Are we changing graduation date? Are they going to be able to graduate on the same time? The seniors get out, basically, we only count their day through the Tuesday of that next to the last week, and they actually attend a half day on Wednesday. So we have 2 to 3 days that week before graduation. If they have to make up any time, we have time to do that for them. So graduation date will not be changed, and we'll be able to get them the hours they need.
Mrs.
Any
Meyer,
questions? Yes.
provided us a copy of the revised contract or the revised calendar. February 23rd currently does not have any additional changes denoted on that.
That's correct. We weren't going to change it or publish it until you had approved it to be able to put a makeup day there. I guess we have on the other two.
Correct.
So we kind of hated to put that in there because it was our last option, but we probably will go ahead and put that as option 3.
Does anyone else have any questions, concerns, thoughts?
Suggestions. It's just tough. And all the school districts around us are fighting with the same thing, not fighting, but having to rearrange. I know most of the districts in our league do not have the number of extra days that we did. And so they're trying to find additional time.
What about the late start days? Are those options?
We talked about the late start days, and we would only get 1 hour out of that. Okay, it's 2 hours. We would go ahead and come those 2 days, but we would literally, I guess we would get 2 hours out of that. But those dates are in there because of the data that has to be collected and reported to the state. And we do have everybody's involved in that, those 2 hours. So if you think it's just the math teachers or it's just the English teachers, everybody is assigned an area to collect data.
Okay.
I asked the administrators that because I think the myth was, or the thoughts was, it's just the math and English teachers getting together, put data, and everybody else is just sitting around drinking coffee. That's not true, so.
Do you want me to bring up an updated calendar with the February 23rd date?
I just think that if we're voting on updating the calendar, since those others are marked that way, that we need to go ahead and denote February 23rd with that possible makeup day number 3, so that it matches the rest of them.
Okay, I have it updated on mine.
Okay. And I would just like to, I think Kelsey and you and Terry kind of precipitated this conversation the other day when we were talking about what does adding 5 minutes at the end of the day look like. And I think the consensus from the administrative team was that that just doesn't allow for the needed education to occur, which is the main reason that, you know, we're here. So adding these days allows for children to be able to sit in each of those subjects, cover the areas, and get the curriculum that they've missed. Is there any further discussion regarding the calendar and the revisions that have been suggested for us?
I guess just to be clear, so the 29th will be in school, and then the priority level goes Friday, March 29th is first priority, Wednesday, May 22nd is the second priority, and then Friday the 23rd is like the third option, the third priority, right? So.
Well, no, the third option, or we might change these, the third option would be adding a day at the end of the year.
Yeah, that's the May 22nd.
And then February 23rd is if we have 2 more snow days, we're gonna have to use basically all of these. And we've got to get past the 23rd and cross our fingers nothing happens after that. So
Do we need to flip May 22nd and February 23rd then? Because if we get past February 23rd and have another couple snow days, then that's kind of a wash, because then we can't use that day. So instead of adding, so I mean, if we miss another day, then we'll have to go on March 29th, correct? And then if we miss 2 days, then we'd have to either add a day on May 22nd or go February 23rd. But if it's past the February 23rd and it snows, then that day's a moot point. We can't.
it is.
So do we need to flip?
You're saying if we have a day that we need before February 23rd to go ahead and use that day.
Yeah.
So that we'll have the other options.
That way
Yeah.
that way adding a day onto the end of the calendar school year is the last option.
Oh, okay. Part of the conversation with the administrators is February 23rd is a non-teaching day for the teachers in the negotiated agreement. Because they work those evenings, and that was maybe the path of least resistance so far, but we could switch it around if that is what you prefer. It would be, let's just say we go on the 29th and we get even, and then we have 2 more days and before February 23rd. I would recommend February 23rd that we use that. Because.
If we need it. I mean, if we've had another day.
Right.
Before that.
But you're saying it's a long week for the teachers because they're there all day and then they're,
in the evenings,
yeah.
right. And administrators thought that the teachers might buck at that, but they might not like going an extra day at the end of the school year either.
Can we keep it like it is now and then, I mean, if we can talk about it some more.
We can always adjust it as, have another special meeting and say, you know what, we're gonna head and go on the 23rd because
we need
in my experience, it seems like either right before, usually right after spring break, we have some kind of ice storm or something.
In March.
In March, and here we've already said, oh, we're gonna take these last 2 days at the end of the year and make up for the 2 we've already missed, and now we don't have an option. I have, as a teacher, had to come back after Memorial Day and teach. I know no one wants to do that. So the other thing that happens is, that's been brought to my attention, this calendar is 188 days. The teachers that signed a contract for 189 days. And so I think in all the changes that we had since spring, the newness of some of us, they didn't realize it, we didn't realize that there was a number difference. I don't know that I'd want to hold them to say you're coming back on Tuesday after Memorial Day. But if we add this to the end of the year, that Thursday and Friday, or that Friday would be that 189th day for them. They've had days off, and I'm having a meeting with the KNEA reps here either today or tomorrow, and talk about why and how, and get a reading from them. So we could make the 23rd of February our makeup day number 1.
Do we have to rank them on the revised calendar? Can we just put makeup days without putting number 1, number 2, number 3, and then we can adjust them as we need to without having to vote again? I guess I'm just wondering, do we have to lock ourselves into that?
I like that idea. I asked the administrators to rank them according to how they thought we could get better instruction. And so that's kind of how we put them on the calendar, but I like just putting in their makeup day if necessary.
I feel like that then gives you as the admin team the ability to have some autonomy to decide what you want to do without having to call a special meeting or have us vote again, because we've already designated these options. If that
That's
makes
a very good idea.
And we will be meeting again on February 12th. I mean, that's essentially 4 weeks from now, which would let us know whether or not we might potentially need that February 23rd date. I like Katie's idea about not ranking them, but listing them as possible makeup days, except for January 29th. We need to make it very clear that that will be an attendance day, and that we will expect everyone to report on that Monday.
Okay.
Does that sound agreeable?
Sure, that's fine.
Yes,
I like that idea.
me too.
Okay, I'm going to try to make the motion that we accept the revision of the school calendar adjustments for the 2023-2024 school calendar as a result of exceeding the number of snow and weather days that were scheduled in our original calendar. Therefore, January 29th will be a school attendance day, and Friday, March 29th, Wednesday, May 22nd, and Friday, February 23rd will be listed as possible makeup days.
I'll second that.
All right, it has been moved and seconded that we attend on January 29th and list Friday, March 29th, Wednesday, May 22nd, and Friday, February 23rd as possible makeup days. Is there any further discussion? Hearing none, all in favor, please raise your right hand. You opposed, same sign. Motion carries. Since this is a special meeting, this is the only item on our agenda that we could discuss. So with no further items to discuss, just a reminder that we will meet again at our regular meeting on February 12th at 6 p.m., barring that we don't have to have another special between now and then. And with that, we are adjourned. Thank you, everyone.
Thank
Thanks.
you. Thank you. Thank you, guys.